And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back if you're in the chat. Ooh, apologize for that extended break, but we have returned with our the first of many qualifying matches of the night. And again, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will go. Who you think will be the first to qualify for the closed qualifiers of the European server here for IEM Katowice. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player, the purple Zerg. Oh my god, the purple Zerg player representing his clan. It is Bly. And he's on fire. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran, representing Cloud9. It is GuMiho. GuMiho was one of the big names that was not able to qualify through the Asia server qualifiers. Now he's trying his luck here in Europe instead, and he is one series away from making it into the closed qualifiers. It's still going to be a rough road to victory in tomorrow's qualifiers, but again, GuMiho is one step closer. Meanwhile, Bly having an upset. I don't think many people really pinned Bly to take down Mana. Mana has been a little bit more consistent, a little bit more in form, but Bly was able to make some magic happen. We'll see if he can do it again. We'll see if he can bring down the Gumi God. For now, it's going to be a Hatchgas full standard opener out of Bly. Bly, he is known for being hyper-aggressive and very unorthodox, but so is GuMiho. So is GuMiho, so this is going to be a crazy one. GuMiho is going to be coming in as the favored player 100%, but at the same time, things can get really chaotic and things can get really, just really out of the norm here. Very fast, very quickly. For now, we're going for a Rax Expand into a Factory. This is an opener that GuMiho is very fond of. It is the special opener. GuMiho, I think he's the only one that he's the only player that I am aware of that it very consistently also goes for the Factory on the low ground. With this kind of opener, you're able to wall off, you're able to keep your natural base safe and sound against any kind of early Ling aggression. And we're getting into our add-ons, getting into our follow-up. The downside here is that your production is exposed. If we do get into a Roach Rush, then the Rax and the Factory are very vulnerable to Biles, to Ravager shots, and to the aggression of your opponent. That's the downside. Outside of that, though, you're kind of having a safe opener, a safe natural. Meanwhile, the Reaper has arrived, going to be dancing with these Lings. Back and forth. Bly does pull back, though. Avoiding disaster, avoiding those Reapers in the end, keeping all his Lings alive. Likewise, GuMiho is checking for the third base. And interestingly enough, Bly... There we go. I was going to say that interestingly enough, Bly has yet to expand. He hasn't taken a third, and we see why. He has stayed in gas, and we are throwing down the Roach Warren. The Roach Rush is upon us, and I think this is a really wise choice. I mean, Bly, he sees the wall with this Overlord, and as we were mentioning, there is a vulnerability here. You know, the fact that the production is here on the low ground instead of safely in the main base, we can wreak havoc and we can try to break through. Behind this, GuMiho is going for a starport. Bear that in mind. We won't be able to add-on swap because the starport is a little bit further back. So, as a result, if we did want to get into Banshees, it's going to take a little bit longer to get into that tech lab. We're going to even try and go into BCs. Meanwhile, GuMiho, he's going to be cleaning up these Lings. Again, he does have a Reaper across the map. He does confirm there is still no expansion. He's going into the main. And he does get eyes on the very fast Lair. Lair has been spotted. Second gas guys are in production. This Reaper is going to get cleaned up. The Reaper goes down. Roaches have arrived. Oh, and they have revealed themselves. Roachworm wasn't spotted earlier, but now we have confirmation. And we're going for a medevac, not a tech lab. And we'll see if GuMiho can hold on to his natural, because here come the Roaches. Roaches, Ravagers, the goal here to take control of the Factory. We already have 2 of these Cyclones, though. And we're backing off Bly. He's been scouted, and he is respecting GuMiho quite a bit here. He retreats, and he's droning. He's droning up his bases. Now, with this lair, we can go into fast Roach speed. Another Overlord is going to go down. We do get eyes on the third CC. He's aware that GuMiho is working on that next step. Bly moving out once again. As he moves out, here comes that double drop of Cyclones. Things are about to get rowdy. They're about to get rowdy here. Ooh, Bly, a little bit supply block. We have 4 more Overlords on the way. Again, Bly has to be very careful with these Ravagers. Has to make sure he keeps them safe and sound. We have 2 Cyclones behind the army. We have 2 Cyclones in front. Going for the reactor. The Ravager's already taking a lot of hits. Would you take down the reactor though? Sorry, the Ravager taking a lot of hits. We come in from behind. Up. And it looks like one of the Ravagers is barely going to survive. We take down the Cyclone. Big pickoff. But again, GuMiho is getting in for us. He's coming in for a surround, and he will shut down this army. It takes down the Ravagers. We'll take down the Roaches as well. Liberator has arrived, and Bly is being cleaned up. Now, bearing in mind that behind this Bly was droning, he did saturate himself on 2 bases. We do have a 3rd base in production. Creep is being spread. And Bly, he can sustain himself. He is getting back into Roach production, though. And he's going to have to be the defender. He did trade with the army, don't get me wrong. Looking at the unit loss tab, we took down 2 of the Cyclones, took down a Hellion, the Reactor. But I'm sure we still wanted a little bit more damage. As at least Bly isn't all in. I mean, he looks all in, don't get me wrong. He's only on 43 workers, but we're going straight for Infestation Pit. Swarm Hosts? Maybe. Infestation Pit's on the way. Actually, now that I think about it, it would make the most sense to go into Infestors. Remember, the Infestor has been changed, and when you do make an Infestor nowadays, it has enough energy for a fungal growth. It's a good way to support Roaches, a good way to shut down and lock down these Cyclones. So, Infestors should be on the horizon. As Bly is going to be pushing Liberators in position. We do have a Stim behind this, so we're getting into a Bio army. Stim looking exposed though. And we're going right forward. We're looking for the cancel. And Stim is going to be shut down. The Roaches, they just, oh my god, they ignore the army. And we're just going straight for the natural, going straight for the SCV kills. A bold move here from Bly. This is going to be a very expensive trade. At the same time, Roaches, they have rocked up at the 3rd base. Workers are going down left and right. That is 19 dead SCVs. 21. The target firing, 24, 25. 25, 26 dead workers as we're camping production here at the 3rd base. And just like that, Bly does take a worker lead. Bearing in mind there are mules, so GuMiho has a comparable economy. And GuMiho still has all these Cyclones. That's a scary thing. Bly threw away a lot of Roaches here, and GuMiho still has a standing army. In saying that, Bly, he's rebuilding his Roach count. He hasn't been saturating his 3rd base. He's now making a wave of workers. There are those Infestors we were talking about. Tunneling clauses on the way. Burrow is done. Bly not stopping here with the Roach aggression. Without Stim, this army is significantly weaker. Stim is still not done. Combat shields instead. We do confirm saturation at the 3rd. Roaches have been revealed. But we do go for the full wall off. Here we go. Tunneling Claw Roaches are coming in. Do we see the army, though? Oh, he does! He spots the Roaches. We have to unburrow. We do get on top of the Cyclones. A lot of Cyclones are going down. Fighting under the Freedom Zone, though. And the Roaches are being cleaned up. Good juggling here from GuMiho. Trying to force out another scan. But additional Roaches have arrived. The first group is going to be cleaned up. Again, the Cyclone's going ham. And we will force back some of these reinforcements. Another scan is available. Oh my god, a brutal scan. So many Roaches go down. An expensive trade here for Bly. Not quite worth it this time. As GuMiho, he's recovering economically. He's got a 4th CC on the way. The Roaches are getting caught out. Meanwhile, Bly back at home working towards another hatchery. We do have those Infestors. We're getting ready for that counterattack. We forgot Stim. Straight up. After that tech lab went down, Stim has not been researched. Oh my god. We have 2-2 on the way before Stim. That is something you don't see every day. Oh my god. Not like this. GuMiho. I think right now he's trying to Stim. We do get the fungal. The chain fungal as well. 1 full medevac goes down. Stim does begin. And it is so heavily delayed here. Without Stim, what could his Marine army really do? It is just such a pivotal part of Terran. I was going to say of the matchup, but no, of Terran in general. Aye. So some good fungal growths. Medevac has been spotted. Bly getting his 4th base up and running, getting fully saturated on 3 bases. Hive is on the way. We will gain access to Vipers, Lurkers as well. Tunneling Claw Roach is waddling on in, but there is detection. Trying to pick off a couple of units. Plenty of turrets in position. GuMiho is being contained. And again, because of all the chaos, because of all the aggression, you know, even GuMiho makes some slip-ups here for getting a stim. From here, Bly is going to be droning. I'm still curious what the hive is going to be, what we're going to make use of with this hive. We do have +1 melee on the way, bailing speed as well. We could go into ultras. It looks like we're going to try to go for a Ling Bane transition. So for now, Ling Bane, Ravager, Infestor. Especially alongside these Infestors, ultras would make sense. But we'll see. We'll see as GuMiho's getting ready for his move out. Oh, he's in position. Big tank shots. Oh, we're committing, actually. The Bailings, they roll it in. Decent connections on the Marines. We clean up all the tanks. Most of the tanks. But we have a wave of reinforcements. GuMiho has to be careful not to overextend. Gonna try to burrow away. We're going for the scan. And we're chasing this down. No fungals here on the high ground. And GuMiho is looking to snowball out of control. Without Ling Bane, we can't fight this. We do have a couple of fungals available. Roaches are amassing Ravagers as well. GuMiho, he takes out the 4th. At the same time, we try to go for some borrowed Roach harass, but we get cleaned up. And it looks like GuMiho is snowballing out of control. Here come the Marine reinforcements. Tanks are sieging. How good are the fungals? And even with perfect fungals, I don't know if we can fight this. Again, we needed some of that Ling Bane. We can see Bly trying to get ready for a surround or a counterattack. Trying to force his opponent to turn around. We do scan the army. Roaches going for the backstab. Bailings are on the way. There's that Ultra Cavern we were talking about, but I don't think we have the economy for it. We can't really sustain Ultra production. Roaches, they have arrived. Again, we're trying to force GuMiho to turn around, but we have reinforcements back at home. We have an army. GuMiho just edging on closer. Tanks slowly leapfrogging forward. Getting within range. The Queen's going down. We're getting into the mineral line. And here we go. We have to pull the trigger. No! Big tank shots. We go for the fungal. And it looks like we will be able to break out. But drones are falling. Every single worker here at the 4th base. Ay, ay, ay. So much economic damage. 22 drones have gone down. And Bly doesn't have an economy. Not anymore. Gonna force back this drop. Across the map, he's trying to deal some counter damage here with these Tunneling Claw Roaches, but he's just bleeding out so much. And here we go, the last ditch effort from Bly. He's got 3 ultras on the way. That's pretty impressive. We have enough of an economy to make 3 ultras, kind of plating in production as well. You can see Bly trying to pull apart his opponent, trying to find a way in. But GuMiho, he's in position. He has an insane economy. Roach is going to be going down. A big scan. We catch the Roaches on the right-hand side as well. Bly is going to be able to take a trade. Going to be able to clean up some of those Marines, but oh god, we can't push in. We can't keep going. Scan reveals the ultras. GuMiho, gotta calm down. Gonna back off. Yeah, another scan that cleans up a big chunk of those Roaches. Bly continuing to try to just get away into the natural. But GuMiho, he's just a brick wall here. Not allowing Bly to find a way in. There we go, we stim on forward, we focus down the hatchery, even Biles are going to be connecting. Oh my god, some big Biles. That was a brutal trade for GuMiho, but he kills a base, and he knows that that's worth it in the end. Bly, he has been able to drone up to 70 though. But we can't push into tank range. We can't push into this army. Bly, he needs time. He needs time to recover. And again, I'm impressed that he's been able to drone up as heavily as he did. But he is so heavily oversaturated. He needs a base. He does need one of these bases to get up and running, and then time to saturate it as well, but GuMiho's maxed. So GuMiho, he's maxed out. He's pushing across the map, going straight for that hatchery, straight for that base. Liberator coming in from behind. Oh, the Overlords, they get caught out. Liberator's just straight up attacking Overlords at this point, not even sieging. We have seen all these Ultras with Infestors, so GuMiho is respecting the army quite a lot, and I don't blame him. One good fungal growth, and Bly, even though he's down in supply, he can take a fight. The Overlords, no! Oh my god. Overlords are being hunted down. Quite a lot of damage is being done, actually. Jesus. That's like, what, 5-6 Overlord kills between them. Here we go. GuMiho rotating around. We're pushing towards the right-hand side. Very slow, methodical play here out of GuMiho. Making sure that he just secures his win here. How good are the fungals going to be? Not too bad. Pretty good fungals, but oh, like the Ultras, they melt. They just melt before the line of tanks, and it looks like this base has been broken, and no more Ultras remain, no more fungal growths are available. Only a couple of Ravagers. Only a couple of Ravagers do remain. It was a good effort here by Bly. Didn't have a bad start, actually. But last things quickly snowballed out of control. Good Biles. Take down one of those tanks. But again, we can just keep singing on forward. Oh, we have the token Swarm Host. Do you love to see it? Swarm Host is on the way. Here we go. We're slowly pushing forward here with these tanks. You're not a Zerg player if you don't make this the token Swarm Host every now and then. It's fine. We do have a big counterattack with these roaches. Gonna try and pull back the army, but GG gets called. The writing was on the wall, and GuMiho will take game number 1. Whew. Taking a lead in this series. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a very chaotic start, a very chaotic game overall between our two players, and that's kind of what we expect to be seeing here between both GuMiho and Bly. And yeah, we'll see if that continues here as we ease our way into this series. Again, it's still a best of 5, so we have plenty of games ahead of us. Plenty more StarCraft to be had. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. As we have our second map, it is going to be Equilibrium. Just making sure we get all the casters involved. Again, we're not on our own. I believe Bratok is going to be covering this series as well as Naruto, who I believe is the German caster for TvZ. So plenty of coverage, plenty going on as we load into game 2. I'm trying to catch up on some reinforcements. Oh my, the upsets! I don't want to take too much away from this series, but Jeshi, yo, I mean, look, if you were here for the Asia qualifiers yesterday, then you would have heard us praise a lot of the Chinese Protoss players for how well they've been able to perform. Players like Cyan, Firefly, Jeshi, the trifecta, the triad of Protoss over in the Chinese region. They've been doing so well for themselves, and Jeshi 2-0 Nightmare. That is crazy. That is insane. That is very impressive and a big upset. Now Jeshi is mid-series against Creator in a best of 5. Meanwhile, we have our own best of 5, our own qualifying match, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player, the purple Zerg, representing himself and his clan, Tuzania. It is Bly. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Cloud9. It is GuMiho. And we're going to be popping off. Once again, GuMiho is going for the low ground of racks into factory. Are we going CC first? It looks like we are. Let's go. Waiting for some extra minerals, so we have a very economic opener. CC first here from GuMiho, as greedy as you can get here in TvZ. Meanwhile, Bly is going for the gold. So we're meeting greed with greed. The drone has arrived and it meets up with the wall in the low ground. Is going to go toe-to-toe with this SCV, but the SCV hit first. No! Bly, get out of here. The drone has arrived. We get confirmation that it is a CC first, so fighting that SCV wasn't actually the most important thing. Bly was hoping to delay the racks. The racks is thrown down in the main base, actually. Okay, interesting. Racks in the main, not at the natural. Bly trying to get a read of what's going on. Drone does dip in, and he will get confirmation of that racks finishing up in the main base. Here we go. As behind this, we have Bly getting into his own spawning pool as well. Getting into his gas production, prioritizing the risk-resting gas, actually. Interesting. I mean, it was a gasless opener. It was a hatch pool gas here from Bly. Just prioritizing this or these mineral patches. Meanwhile, thank you so much, Kibrit, in the chat for gifting us up to Dolan. Thank you. Quack, Bobby, quack. Do appreciate it. As we're getting into the factory on the high ground, never mind. I assume that we would be throwing down the wall in the low ground like we did previously. But alas, that is not the case. Bunker on the high ground as well. GuMiho going for the SCV scout, confirming the risk-resting gas geyser, or the goal base. Roach Warren's on the way, and Bly looking to be hyper-aggressive here in game number 2. I just love that Bly, he's aware of the aggressive potential of his opponent. He's just preemptively getting ready here in the main. The bunker was cancelled, but regardless, the production this time is going to be safe. Wings are moving out. Bly cutting workers here at 27, not getting full saturation of the main base, making sure he doesn't get supply blocked, and roaches are on the way. Yeah, that's 3 overlords in production to make sure that, I mean, it takes a lot of supply to get into roaches. Making sure we're there. Meanwhile, behind this, it's going to be a 1-1-1 opener here from GuMiho. Going for the add-on swap. I imagine for Cyclones, we'll see if we get into Hellions. GuMiho, he has yet to see the tech, not fully aware of what's going on. Yeah, we're getting into Hellion production. And we'll see if Bly can pull this off, as the roaches have been revealed. Lair is on the way. Bly taking another base. Getting supply blocked, actually, after losing that overlord across the map. Oh, this is a pretty brutal supply block, actually. Gonna take quite some time to break free. Bunker is on the way on the low ground. And Bly is sending everything across the map. Lings, roaches, ravagers. His goal here to take control of the natural base. And this time, no Cyclones to defend. That is what kind of held Bly off in the previous game. Boys, they have to be pulled. We're going for the Cyclones. Sorry, we're going for the Hellions. 2 of them will be focused down. And it looks like with these roaches, with these ravagers as well, we should be able to break through, but the Cyclones arrive just in time. Oof. Taking some blasts to the face. Unfortunately, 1 Cyclone falls. The Wiles. Oh my god. As it looks like GuMiho, he's barely going to be able to hold on. Shuts down the Ravagers. The bunker stands strong. GuMiho did lose 7 SCVs, but he has an economic lead. He has mules, he has a higher worker count, and the Banshee arrives to just shut this down. Things were looking a little bit scary there, and Bly isn't done, by the way. He is going for a big link counterattack. The wall is open. We can get a surround on the Cyclone. Oh. Up. But barely. They do try to wall off. The Lings, they get in. They get the Hellion. They get the Cyclone as well. And now we can go straight for the mineral line, but there's only a handful of SCVs, sorry, a handful of Marines left. Lings left even. As Lings, they continue to flood across the map. They pick off some of the Marines. Not too bad. They go for the Cyclone as well. The repairs are in time. And the game is going to settle from here. Bly has been droning. He's saturating his natural base. His gold's slowly running out of mineral patches. We have to transfer over. 4th base on the way. And GuMiho didn't move out with his Banshees. He's banking up the Banshees back at home. And we have factories on the way. We're getting into mech. Not going to be bio. Not this time. Getting to a more mech-heavy composition. With Hellions and Cyclones. Banshees are moving out. They do come across the Roaches. So these Roaches are going to get picked off. As the Roaches are being chased down. The Banshees with full map control at this point. At least the Ravagers do survive, but I can't say the same for these Roaches. Once again, Burrow and Tunneling Claws are on the way here for Bly. I'm an NA noob that likes to support the scene as best I can. Oh, thank you, thank you. Gracias, papi, gracias. Do appreciate it. As GuMiho is going to be taking his 3rd base. Again, getting into double armoring production, getting into mech. We have, of course, Hurricane Thrusters in production as well. That is Cyclone Speed. So we're going for a kind of a battle mech heavy composition or a Cyclone heavy composition here from GuMiho. And against Roaches, I do kind of like this here. I mean, not just the Roaches, not just the Cyclones, but we're not stopping Banshee production. We have 4 Banshees. We have a 5th Banshee on the way as well. Oh my god. We don't have Hyperflight Rotors, which is a little bit surprising. We only have Cloak. But if we're going to invest this heavily, we're probably going to invest into Cloak. Sorry, we're probably going to invest into Banshee Speed at some point. It's going to happen. Turrets are on the way. After game 1, I'm sure GuMiho is aware of the potential for Tunneling Claw Roaches. So he's getting ready for that. Making sure he has detection wherever he needs it. And the Banshees are moving out. And again, that's a lot of Banshees. That's a lot of Banshees, papi. So getting across the map. We do have Spore Crawlers in position, thankfully. 1 Spore in each base. Queens are here as well. The Banshees head towards that gold. There are 2 Queens in position. Drones are being focused down. Oh, it's going to be 3 dead workers at the same time. Bly trying to go for his own run by, but he gets caught out. There is plenty of detection available, and the Roaches, they just get annihilated. Ay, ay, ay. So many of them go down for free. We're chasing out whatever is left. Meanwhile, across the map, the Banshees are going ham. They can actually wreak havoc here on the hatchery. Spores not within range. The Queens, they do rotate over. 4 workers went down, and here come the Cyclones. GuMiho up in supply. You can see that we have a Spire and a Hydrogen on the way. That's a lot of tech. Infestors as well. Bly is getting a bit of everything, but I don't think any of it can help him survive against this push. The Banshees pulling him apart. 12 dead workers, and here woke up the Cyclones. And what is the answer to this? We have 9 Roaches, and they're coming back home. A nice burrow here in the mineral line, but the drones, they're getting roasted. The Banshees arrive, focusing on the Ravagers as well. Really good target firing out of GuMiho. Bungles will connect, but it's not going to be enough. The Cyclones are going down. The Banshees as well, but that's 30 dead workers, 30 dead drones. The economy in shambles. We're even going straight for the hatchery as well. And Bly, he has almost nothing left at this point. He's going across the map with what little he has left. He is down to 9 Roaches, 1 Infestor. This is his army. This is it. It's all he can do. And back at home, we're just amassing more Cyclones. More Cyclones are coming out. The hatchery did go down. Meanwhile, Bly did invest into Mutas. Oh, these Roaches are getting picked off. Mutas can help harass, but honestly, Mutas melt against Cyclones. The new Cyclones are ideal against them. Oof. As the last remaining Roaches go down, Mutas headed across the map, going to try to force the army to turn back around, but we have turrets. We have turrets in position. And GuMiho is going for the kill move. Going straight for the natural. Banshees are in position. GuMiho is snowballing out of control. Boys, they have to be pulled. And pulling drones against Cyclones is not something you want to see. It's brutal. Oh, God. As the last remaining drones are going to fall as well. Even some Hellions rock up. And GuMiho is looking to extend his lead in this series. GG gets called. GuMiho will take game number 2. 1 game away from qualifying for the IEM Katowice European Server Closed Qualifier. 1 more game is all GuMiho needs. Meanwhile, when it came to that game, it wasn't a bad start. It wasn't a bad start for Bly to invest as heavily as he did to get away with that goal base, to get away with the Rich Vesting Gas Geyser as well. I wasn't opposed to it, but the push it did look a little bit lacking there. He wasn't able to take control of the natural. He wasn't able to break in. Again, GuMiho's Cyclones arrived just in time to defend. It was pretty close, actually. If they were any later, then I do think that Bly would have killed some workers. But again, the Cyclones, they did arrive. Again, props to GuMiho for having the wherewithal to actually keep his production safe this time in his main base. Didn't go for the low ground. And with that, GuMiho needs one more win here to make it into tomorrow's qualifier. Meanwhile, I can tell you that the sun has risen. That the sun is up. It's 7 a.m. here in Australia. 7 a.m. and the sun is up. It's time for bed soon. It's time. Oh, God. After the cast, I'm probably going to get some breakfast and just pass the hell out. No. Yeah, it hasn't been a long broadcast, but it just started really late. At least for me here in Australia. Was a late start. But it's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it, Papi. We're making it through. We're getting there. And spawning. Oh my god. Where are we going? Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Ukrainian Zerg player down in the series. He has to fight back here and now to have a chance at qualifying for the closed qualifiers. It is Bly. Here comes that turn. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Terran player representing his new team Cloud9, 1 game away from qualifying. It is GuMiho. And this is interesting. We are going for a proxy hatch at the 3rd base location. Just outside of vision, GuMiho is going for the low ground racks this time. The production is going to be exposed here on the low ground, as opposed to the previous game. And Bly is going for the hatch into spawning pool behind this. Let's go. I'm ready for it. Bly just turning it up to 11 here in game 3. And can he try to punish GuMiho? Can he overwhelm him here in the early game, taking 2 gases? I imagine this is going to be a Roach rush once again from Bly. I mean, he's been going for Roach heavy compositions throughout this entire series, but this is going to be a little bit different. Just a little bit. As he's droning up as best he can. Gases are being prioritized. SCV Scout moving out here for GuMiho. He will soon recognize what is going on. No Reaper, so very limited scouting information. Going for the Marine first. Setting up a wall here on the high ground. Going racks into expansion. It's going to be a factory follow-up. And there's that Roach Ward. He's checking! No shot, he checks! He does get eyes on the hatchery. GuMiho, he is aware. Oh my god. Bunker is already on the way. This is brutal. The bunker has been spotted by the Overlord. Marines have arrived. GuMiho, again, he's a very old school player. Not the first time he's played against Bly, and again, having the star sense to check is crazy. GuMiho. So again, with the bunker on the way, it should be okay. We do have a tech lab behind this again to Marauder production. There we go. Marauders are on the way. Marauders, they completely annihilate roaches. And we should have a handful of them by the time the army arrives. Boys are made running over towards the low ground. They will be available. So the reason why we have to bring SCVs down is so we can pull them to repair. Speaking of, there we go. The boys are being pulled. And we will get the repair going. Oh, as I say that, the roaches zone them away. Do zone them away for a moment. But the bunker is going to be topped up. Even diving on top of the roaches themselves, we pull the boys. The Ravagers are not going to finish. One of them will, but not the other. Oh, oof. So just will complete. 5 SCVs went down. Was that worth it actually here for GuMiho? Did bleed out a lot of units. And we don't have a second Marauder. Bly, he's breaking through. He busts down the bunker. GG gets called. GuMiho overextended. Lost too much. Didn't have the economy. And Bly does fight back. Let's go. Oh my god. Again, pulling those SCVs was a little bit ambitious, and again, because we just didn't have much mining going on, GuMiho actually couldn't afford a second Marauder, wasn't able to get it out, had very limited DPS available, had 1 unit to defend, and yeah, we have Bly fighting back. Let's go. I'm ready for it. We're catching up in the chat. Badge, oh badge, soon, Bobby, soon. 7 AM in Perth, are you in civilization? Sydney, Bobby, Sydney. I like Sydney, but I support Melbourne FC. Oh, I understand. Look, like, I hated Sydney when I was there. Everything is one-way streets. True. I think there are a couple of one-way streets there in Sydney. Yeah, fair. I know. Whenever I go to the city, it's usually via train. I don't traverse those streets by car. I was there only once, 15 years ago. Ah. Long time. But here we go. We're getting into game number 4. We are getting into this series, and is this the beginning of a comeback? I would hope so. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, and we have our purple Zerg player fighting back in this series, looking to tie it up, looking to force that ace match. It is Bly. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Cloud9. Ooh, having to work here for this qualifying match. It is GuMiho. What would happen if we put Bly, Eric, and Mio in one practice room? Oh, let's go. As we're going for a ninja base. Okay, it is hatch first. This time it is not an aggressive hatchery here from Bly. He's going for a hidden base towards the top left-hand corner of the map. I imagine to take control of the Rich Vesting Geyser. With this fast Rich Vesting Geyser, we can go into a Roach Rush. So once again, it should be Roaches on the way. It's going to be a hatch gas pool from Bly. Instead of going for the gold base, again, the purple gas base instead. I'm filling the Roaches, mate. I'm filling it. Okay, so this is very unique. I've been waiting for this. The entire patch, the entire season of StarCraft. I remember from the very beginning, I was talking about how like proxy hatches or like rushing into these gold bases, we've seen it plenty of times. You know, we've seen it quite a lot in ZVZ and ZVP and even ZVT. It does happen, it does occur. I was waiting. Would we see a player rush into these rich gas bases instead? And Bly is doing it. He's answered my prayers have been answered. the man of my dreams. Let's go. Is this gonna work though? That's the question. This is a wild one. Queen is on the way, drone as well. Again, we should be focusing on that gas. Meanwhile, behind this, we are just easing into ourselves. GuMiho going for a Rax Expand into the factory. Standard opener out of GuMiho. He has yet to go for an SCV scout, and he's keeping the Reaper back at home. So GuMiho, he's a little bit paranoid. He's a little bit concerned about an early rush. As we can see, though, there's nothing to be concerned about yet. There are things that are concerning, don't get me wrong, and we are adding drones over. Because this Reaper has been kept at home, it means that we don't get eyes on the missing hatchery. We don't actually catch these drones either. GuMiho isn't able to punish this. The Reaper now moving out. The gases have been taken. And we are going into, not roaches, my apologies. We are going into a fast lair. 2-base muta? 2-base muta would make the most sense, I guess. Sure. Okay. That's kind of where my brain is going for here, because there is no roach warren. Link speed is finishing up. No, sure, he's checking? Okay. He does back off. He does see that the base is missing, and he should be checking the golds. He should be checking these gold bases first. He does check the gold base closest to Bly. Should be checking here on the right-hand side. Yeah, that's exactly where GuMiho's headed. Again, it's very obvious to check the gold bases first, and the bases are empty. The gold bases are completely empty. GuMiho, what is going through his mind? Will he think to check top left? Yeah, he's going for it. He is now checking these fringe bases, and he comes across the creep. He has found the base. Hellions dive forward. There it is. Spire is on the way. But can we protect this base is the question. That's the better question here. We have a couple of queens. We have some lings. They are in position. They take down 2 Hellions. They take down a third. There's only 1 Hellion remaining. And here we go. We're coming back in, but we should be able to pick this off. The Hellions get shut down. At the same time, Reaper slips into the main. We get a full scout. We get eyes on the lair as well as the Spire. Oh, the Bly has been scouted. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to deny it. Another base is on the way. And yeah, GuMiho is going to be able to respond. We have some Cyclones in production. Second factory, we have Mech on the horizon from GuMiho. Initially going for Banshees to harass, to be safe against Roaches. But now he's preparing himself for those mutas. The Banshee has arrived. It looks like the Queens are in position. The Spore finishes up just in time. The Banshee will be shut down. Big pick off. The Banshee gets 0 damage done. And here come the mutas. Mutas are on the way. And Bly is droning. He should be droning up behind this. So, because the mutas got scouted, because the Spire was seen earlier, these mutas shouldn't end the game. But I imagine Bly intends to contain his opponent. To contain GuMiho to 2 bases and drone up behind it. But we'll see. As the mutas have arrived. And trying to collapse on that Banshee. They do force out the cloak. And for now, Bly, he's staying on a low worker count. I assumed that he would be saturating this third, but for now, he is focusing on muta production. Heading into the main base. Oh, Bly is supply blocked. But turrets are up. And we go straight for the turret. We get a mass repair. The turret will not go down. That's 1 muta falling. That's a second muta as well. Big pickoffs. Expensive trade here for Bly. Meanwhile, here comes the rest of the army. Going straight for that hidden base. And Bly, he's doubling down on Ling Bane. He refuses to drone. Oh, and I don't think he can hold on to this. The mutas are trying to catch some reinforcements, and they do get a couple of units. But there are still so many Cyclones. As GuMiho rotates on over. Mutas, they try to engage. Auto turret is thrown down. And yeah, these mutas, they just cannot push in. But these lings are going to help. Okay, we have a massive wave of lings here. Bly, he goes for the surround. He dives on top of these Cyclones. They're going to be focused down. And it looks like Bly, he should clean this up. He cleans up the Cyclones and he'll clean up everything else as well. The tanks, the Marines. We're going to save this base. We are saving this hatchery. GuMiho going to try to focus down as many drones as he can. He gets 1 or 8 in total. Bly is going to try to snowball out of control. He wants to try to dive on this army. Banelings are in production. Again, Bly on a very low worker count. He's pretty all in. He's pretty all in with this. He's going for the bus. He is droning up as well, so we're getting some mixed signals. The Bane bust is upon us. We're rolling in. But there are Cyclones in position, and the Banelings, they barely don't make it into the mineral line. One Baneling does, but one Baneling is not good enough. As additional Banelings are on the way. GuMiho, a little bit late to react. But the Banelings once again do not connect. That would have been huge. One Baneling was all we needed. As Mutas get into the main base, we get the mass repair. And GuMiho, he's holding. He is holding. And now he is far ahead here in the economy. Bly trying desperately to redrone to resaturate his bases. He does have a decent Muta count, but not much else other than that. God, this Banshee refuses to die. Ay, ay, ay. Been around for so long. Blue Flame is on the way again. We're committing into mech. Hurricane Thrusters has completed. Oh, and with the death of those queens earlier, this Banshee is going to take control of this ninja base. Mutas are on the way, but still no detection. How many mutas are we on? We're up to 11 mutas. And these Cyclones should clean this up. Forcing the mutas to engage. And this hatchery is going to fall. At the same time, we do have a Drop Lord making its way into the main base. Hatchery is going to get targeted down. And these Lings, they got a lot of work to do. Lings initially are deflected. But we do get the drop into the main. So far, not spotted. Not yet. It looks like Bly, he's waiting for the move out. He's waiting for GuMiho to get out of position. They've been spotted in the center of the map, and now we can go. Now we can. We can send it back. Oh, going for. Oh, he's so greedy, going for a Bane bust or a Baneling run by into the mineral line. Ay ay ay. The greed here from Bly. And here we go. The Banelings, they do roll in. Do we have a reaction from GuMiho? We do not. And we do crash into that mineral line. 9 SCVs going down. 11 in total. Not too bad. Not a bad run by, but we needed more is the problem. GuMiho is still up 20 workers. Overlord goes down. Bly trying to double expand. He's retaking top left. Bold move. Bold move out of Bly. As the Mutas, they do harass that natural. They get a couple more SCVs without losing anything. The problem is that because GuMiho has had the better economy, he's just amassing a massive Cyclone army. How many Cyclones do we have? We have 29. We have more Cyclones than there are Mutas. We do get across the map. Hatchery is going to be going down. Oh, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel. And again, these Cyclones are so mobile. I don't know how we can engage with this. Here we go, the Banelings are rolling in. So far, good kiting here out of GuMiho. He avoids those Banelings for the most part. Okay, they get targeted down, and now he can snowball out of control. There's nothing left to support the Mutas. Only a queen and only drones. And it looks like GuMiho is going to be qualifying here for the IEM Katowice European Closed Qualifier. Or the Europe Server Closed Qualifier. As we get into the natural, GG gets called, and GuMiho will take the series 3-1, making it to the Closed Qualifier tomorrow. GG. GG, well played. Bly did make him work for it, and I'm happy to see Bly have, again, such a unique outlook on this matchup and on this game, and to go for the hidden base towards the top left. There was a lot of potential. I wasn't too fond of the choice of going 2-base Muta. I understand we want to take advantage of those gases, but yeah, the Muta play left much to be desired. It got scattered early on, and it did get shut down. And with that, GuMiho was able to snowball out of control. And GG, congratulations. Congratulations to GuMiho for making it into the European Server Closed Qualifier tomorrow. GG. We'll be casting more of GuMiho later on. As we're now going to be scrolling on down and we're looking for another series. We're looking for another qualifying match. Where are we headed? That is the question. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves.